And Lyndon, why don't you introduce yourself and kick us off?
Sounds good. My name is Lyndon Coffey. I'm with American Recycling. I'm happy to be the co-chair of the Stanislaus Green Team and welcome everybody today to the Stanislaus Green Team. We are here every third Thursday of the month at noon on Zoom until further notified. Please look for our emails and announcing green teams, of course, future green teams. Our next one will be July 15th. So be prepared for that. So with that, I'm gonna get right to, a couple of quick announcements before I introduce our first speaker. Please put your Zoom on mute while our speaker is presenting. That allows for the elimination of background noise. And then when Liz is done, then we can have a time for questions. You can either raise your hand in your screen or type a question into the chat room. So with that, I'm going to introduce our speaker. Her name is Liz Cheney Brown. She is with CCS, and the topic is Sustainable and Green Facility Services in the pandemic and post-pandemic world. Please welcome Liz Cheney Brown. Remember the mute.
Just got it, unmuted. Well, thank you guys for giving us the opportunity to present. I'm really excited about not only being part of this team and getting to share and learn from you guys, but also just provide what we do and what I do. And our topic today is Sustainable Green Facility Services in the Pandemic and Post-Pandemic World. It's very near and dear to my heart because not only am I involved in janitorial work, but I have a background in community development, and it all ties in. So I currently work for CCS Facility Services. I'm the business development manager. Jaime Jacobo is our general manager, and so he will jump into if he has anything to provide. He's kind of our resident expert in some of these processes. So, but anyway, we're really excited to share with you, and I appreciate it. So first of all, let's just talk about the elephant in the room called COVID-19. I promise you guys that I'm not gonna put all of my focus on that. It has come up a few times in the last year for us in the janitorial world, as you can imagine, but there are other germs out there. There's other things, there's the flu, there's norovirus, colds out there. So just to let you know, we'll talk about that too. Everybody's probably kind of tired of hearing about COVID. So again, thank you for giving us this time. It's been an astonishing year for us. It's been really good in janitorial. And we've learned a lot and we've grown a lot. And I'm going to talk about certifications and that sort of thing. So just FYI too, CCS was actually involved in a lot of these certifications before COVID. So we felt very prepared. So I hope I can answer some questions. Stop me at any time. Just raise your hand and we can go from there. So let me share my screen. All right. Work for you guys? Everybody can see? We're good? Okay. All right, awesome. So again, I'm Liz with CCS Facility Services, and here we go. Well, let's see, it's not, there we go. All right, I thought I'd do a quick intro about CCS. We are out of Denver, Colorado, but we have an office here in Fresno in the Central Valley. We cover the entire Central Valley area. And we have 5 locations in California. So headquartered in Denver and founded in 1988. So just so you can see where we are, just so you know our background and who we are. We currently provide services for these particular, sorry, I'm going too fast. There we go. So as you can see, we clean the city of Modesto, and we actually provided cleaning during the COVID vaccines. So it was a really big thing for us, and we were very happy to do it. We're very involved with the city of Modesto. So also why I'm excited to be part of this. But just also incidentally, we provide janitorial, custodial work, pressure washing, engineering services, electrostatic disinfecting, and that sort of thing. So parking lot sweeping. So a little bit of background of, what we do. So now we get to it, the sustainability. So again, my focus today is just going to be on how we, CCS as a company, provides cleaning services, chemicals, our processes, and our certifications. And this is just also for you to know. We probably don't clean for you, but this is good for you to see where we come from and see what we find important so that you can incorporate that in your businesses and your properties. So one of the main focuses I will talk about today, and one of the sustainable impacts that CCS finds very important, is just creating a healthier environment for our occupants. So primarily that's around air quality. All of us that live in the Central Valley and surrounding areas know that air quality is very important. After living through the fires last year, I think we all know. And then of course, with other, potentially infectious diseases, that has been something that's top of mind. So I will discuss that. FYI, this also paying attention to the air quality and the cleaning and using sustainable products can help reduce absenteeism. I was actually surprised. I found this little bit of information that a range of studies shows that the paying attention to and focusing and implementing these sustainable practices and certifications and making sure that things are clean and the air quality is high, it can actually increase productivity from, up to 14%. So I thought that was pretty cool. And I think we can all agree that taking time off to be sick is not as fun as just taking a personal day. So that's all our goals, right? Is not taking time off to be sick, but take a day off. So the other thing, of course, we want is compliance with requirements. The certifications offer, meeting requirements. And then, of course, an impact to the natural environment, which is less. So let's talk about the first one. I will go into more in depth. This is one of our biggest accreditations through CCS. And I don't know if anybody's familiar with that. Has anybody ever heard of the ISSA? And I can't see all of my screen, so I don't know if anybody's heard of it. Okay, so the ISSA for us in the janitorial world is really important. It's like the FDA for janitorial facilities, just so you kind of have some idea. So we are very involved with the ISSA, and through that we've gotten certifications through one of their divisions, which is called SIMS, not like the little computer families, SIMS with a C. So it's the Clean Industry Management Standards, and we have certification through them with honors. Not to brag, but it's good. When they say GB, that just stands for green building. And we all know green, anything involved with green and sustainability is important. So that's what that means. I will mention it from time to time. And then, of course, LEED. I don't know if other people have heard of that. I've talked to some people all over the Central Valley who are familiar with LEED. So that stands for Leadership in Energy and Environmental Design. So again, just overall building health and health for your tenants. So the other thing I wanted to mention too, we'll talk about too, is GBAC. And GBAC, okay, I'm gonna say this really slowly, Global Biorisk Advisory Council. So that means that we are highly trained in managing biorisk chemicals that clean after, exposure to whatever, whether it's the flu or COVID-19, SARS, norovirus, you name it. So our technicians are trained. In order to get this certification, all of our team members, and when I say when we're all certified, I'm certified, our janitors are certified, account managers, staff, the president of our company. This is important. So this is something, I would suggest if you have buildings, you look into this GBAC certification and learn more. But it means we satisfied 20 programs to show our biorisk preparedness and response, which is also it's also sustainable and scalable. So does anybody have any questions about GBAC? Have you heard of it? Is this anything? Anyone? Okay. I just want to make sure I keep you guys engaged. I know some of this is, it's pretty in depth. So, but I find it very interesting as the Well, I don't know if anybody else is. As a germaphobe, this is really cool to me. So I love it. So then I also wanted to discuss just a little bit more, just so you can see what GBAC pertains to. Just again, it's just confidence in any place we clean, continuous improvement, and then of course consultation. So all that's important. So I will tell you, aside from working with the ISSA and getting all those accreditations, the new buzzword out there in the community is wellness. So our company just recently went through a certification with Fitwell. There are a few companies that are focused on certifying different groups, so buildings, communities, but also service companies like ours with wellness certifications. So Fitwell is one. And really what it does is it just helps the tenants, staff, investors, they know that you're trained and familiar with prioritizing wellness. I'll get a little more into that, but it's kind of just the new thing. So has anybody heard of Fitwell or maybe Well Building? Anybody? Okay, so again, it's just another level of wellness and health within a building. So are you guys ready to hear all about these certifications and all these fun details? I hope you are, because we're about to go into it. If you have any questions, again, speak up. I can't see everybody, so just take yourself off mute and just interrupt me, because I will go on and on. But I'll try to make it not boring. So LEED, I talked about that before, Leadership in Energy and Environmental Design. So again, SIMS, the Clean Industry Management Standard, we're certified green cleaning, and that's company-wide. So we actually cleaned 60 LEED certified buildings company-wide. I don't have that number for California. If you're interested, I can get that for you. LEED is associated with certifications and getting the maximum points available. And when I talk about maximum points, it's important for properties or other companies who own buildings or run buildings to get points. It helps commercial properties retain and attract new tenants. And there's a financial component too by having these points. So it's not only healthy for companies to have these, get these points for their tenants, but also financially healthy. So it's good and it's sustainable, of course. And that's what this is about too, is providing sustainable products and clean products. And that's something that we, all care about, and I'll want to make sure that we, abide by. So that's what that is. So LEED, that's what that stands for. And then again, with GBAC, the Global Biorisk Advisory Council, it's all performance-based training. We've all been through it. It just discusses protocols, correct disinfection techniques, and the best practices for biohazard situations. As you guys can imagine, we probably were very, very, very involved with that. We did a lot of work with different companies to do mitigation post-COVID. So anytime that there was a COVID positive case, we would, go in and clean. And again, the products we're using are sustainable. I can talk about that later too, but that was something that's important. So number one, just making sure that you have the right products and practices to get rid of any germs or viruses is important, but also making sure that the products you're using are healthy. So I found some interesting information. To me, it's interesting. I hope you guys think it's interesting. So the program was established in May of 2020. So more than almost 2,000 facilities actually are GBAC certified in 80 countries. So I thought that was interesting. But I had a funny story also, because I thought about this. We all talk about COVID, and like I said, I don't just want to talk about COVID, but you never know what is coming in and out of your building. And this is my story. My husband works for the Park Service, and a few days ago, he brought home this turtle. They had given him permission. It was all, above board, all kosher. We live on a lake, and so we were going to release the turtle on the lake. But I don't know if you know this. I do. Turtles carry salmonella. So I'm not saying people are coming in and out of your buildings with turtles, but the point is, you never know what people have on their hands or what they're bringing. I mean, I think about these things. So, whether it's COVID or salmonella, it's good to take these precautions and to pay attention to these certifications. So the turtle was released, and hopefully he's doing well, or she. We didn't know what the turtle was. A little bit more about the certifications. So I know I talked about CIMS, the Clean Industry Management Standards. This just kind of gives you some more details about what CIMS is. Again, it's certifications, point-based. It relates to LEED. So we don't need to get super into that. If you have questions, obviously afterwards, feel free to jump in. Just FYI, we've been certified as a company since 2017, and we were recertified in 2019. And again, we'll get certified in 2021. So that just kind of goes over, that's one option. So I know I talked about Fitwell before. I really was interested in Fitwell. I will tell you that training is very in-depth. Again, my company, a lot of companies are doing this. It's related to wellness. There's also another certification you get with well building. So we will eventually get there. I think a lot of cleaning companies are doing that. We are focused right now on Fitwell. From the bottom up, everyone in our company is taking these tests. So I was really intrigued by it. I had mentioned before, I have a background in community development. So you're not only being certified and learning about processes and practices related to cleaning, which is obviously super important, especially right now, but as far as wellness, your tenant's health is really important. Your employees' health is really important. So this Fitwell covers things like, are there bike racks? Are there options for people to have other forms of transport? Is the air quality, up to par? Is there space for people to spend time outside, eating outside or walking outside? What kind of food is in the vending machine? So all that I think is really cool to me. And I thought that was really interesting that companies are taking time to really pay attention to their tenants. And I think it's important too, as we, learn to live and be healthy together. So that was cool. Anybody have any questions about Fitwell? Anybody else think that it's like super really interesting like me? No. Anyway, if you have questions, we can talk about it afterwards. We also do have a well AP on staff, and AP just stands for accredited professional. So now the other fun stuff, all the details about our chemicals and water conservation, air quality, all those little things that go into it that sometimes we don't even think about, right away. But as far as chemicals are concerned, and again, I'm speaking for CCS, this is something we focus on that I think is really important. We think it's important, and we want to pass along that knowledge. Sustainable products, we found, don't cost any more than non-sustainable products. We use green label products. I was surprised about that. I didn't realize. So apparently it is. And this is something I want to pass on. Water conservation. We live in California. We understand the importance of conserving water and taking care and being aware. So one of the things that we focus on is using diluted chemicals, saves on transportation costs. I thought this was an interesting tidbit. To ship a 2-liter bottle of concentrate equals 64 gallons of ready-to-use water. I mean, that's a tremendous difference. So if we're shipping something in a small container concentrate and it, equals to 64 gallons, that's amazing. You're saving on transportation costs and the impact and footprint that has. And the other thing with water is water leaks, and they happen all the time. Not only can they cause damage to the building, your company, but also leaks can account for 13% of a building's water usage, so which is money, and again, important. Also, again, the chemicals we use, environmentally friendly chemicals, green, non-toxic. It's not just, it is for the environment, but think about it too. If we're using chemicals too that are less toxic on your skin, that's important for our staff and for you. And then the other thing is air quality. So I had mentioned before, we all went through last year with all the fires, and I'm newish to California. So to me, this was like a whole new world. I know that we have fires. It's just kind of something we live with. Does anybody else check the AQI compulsively? Because I do. Yeah, and it's important. So you want to pay attention to that outside, but you want to know that your building is taking precautions too. So we have the precautions with COVID, flu, whatever's going on in that respect, but also what's out in the environment. So that's related to HVAC, right? So you want to make sure that you're keeping all of those maintained and healthy for a healthy building. But what we do too within our capacity as a cleaning service is our equipment. It has to be up to par for air quality. So that's related to our vacuums. So we use particular products that don't redistribute, the vacuums don't redistribute the dust, mold, particles, whatnot into the air. So they're CRI, green label vacuums. So that's one thing that we do. I think that's very important. Vacuuming bags obviously affect the indoor air quality. So we, of course, are going to check the filtration devices and that sort of thing. So I will talk a little bit more about our vacuums because I think that's another important thing, especially with asthma, again, with the Central Valley and all of those important aspects. So you guys, this picture to me looks like a Ghostbusters proton pack. I don't know if you see that. I will tell you they're actually really light. I've tried one. I'm 4'11". I can use it. So they're really cool. So they're ergonomically made for our staff, or for people. So from the smallest person, and then we have people who are a lot taller, normal sized people who can carry it. So that's been a help. You're not like bent over. It's good for our staff, but it's also just more efficient. It's easier, it's quicker. So it helps with that. We have bumper pads and protective surfaces for surfaces. And essentially what that does is it keeps your furniture safe. So furniture and the walls and things like that, it's something that we definitely want to, make sure that we work on. So again, it improves air quality. Quieter vacuums. We use quieter vacuums. We've all been in that office when, somebody has to vacuum or at home and it's very distracting. So that's helpful, just noise pollution. We also use lithium and gel batteries instead of off-gassing batteries. Again, sustainable. It's something to think about. You don't always consider that, but it is important. And then one of my favorite things about what we do and what, I would hope other practices and, at home I do it too, is you don't want to use the same cloth for the bathroom as you use for the kitchen, right? Like that's horrific, especially right now. So we have a very serious color coding policy that we utilize. So, and this comes up sometimes when we have meetings and talk to different customers. This is very important. This is something that we do. So for instance, we use like red for the bathroom and a different color for the kitchen and mops and all sorts of things. So we're very careful of that. It's posted in our janitorial closet. It's something we train on and we learn. So I thought that was very something that's important that I've incorporated into my everyday life too. And then I wanted to just show everyone another picture of an outbreak like photo. I hope nobody wanted to see that. I didn't hit it to go. I don't know why it's telling me it's at the end. I didn't think we were at the end. My presentation isn't done. You guys have to listen to me for a little bit longer. But we're almost at the end. We're almost at the end. So again, I just want to run through certifications, Global Biorisk Advisory Council, GBAC. Yay, we are the first facilities company in the world to have this. It's really important, but I think it's important for other companies to, look into that. I think just Google, find out. I'd be glad to give you links. Again, sustainable products, EPA registered, hospital grade disinfectants. It's very important. We've been working in the medical capacity for a long time too. It's important. So I think that's cool. If you have questions, please don't hesitate to send them my way. And I think that's it. Does anybody have any questions about these certifications or need any clarification? I am not a scientist. There are probably some people on this call who are a lot more adept at that than me, and I would be happy to help or find out. So yeah, let's open the floor. Does anybody have any questions?
Thank you, Liz. This is your time to raise your hand or unmute your microphone and say something or put it into the chat room. was a very good presentation, Liz. Thank you.
Thank you.
Very informative. Any questions for Liz? Come on. Somebody's got to have a question. Bum, bum, bum. You were so thorough that you answered. Anybody have a question about turtles?
It was a snapping turtle.
Snapping turtle, really?
Snapping turtle. Yeah.
I didn't realize they were in this area.
Yeah. It was at Millerton Lake. Does anybody know where Millerton? It's in just Sierra Foothills.
Oh, okay.
I was actually there last weekend.
Nice.
Okay.
Yeah. It's a
Wow.
lot going on. It's loud.
Dang.
I'm actually from Iowa. We had quite a few of those in the Mississippi River, so they can be a bit dangerous.
They can.
Yeah, see, I expect to see that. I was in Arkansas last month, and saw a snapping turtle myself. Actually saved a little baby. It was that big, little baby turtle.
Yeah.
They're prehistoric.
Right. They look like dinosaurs for sure.
Yes.
And we're off and running on the turtles.
There you go.
Sorry about that. Didn't mean to go that far into it, but
Okay.
any further questions for Liz?
You brought up the HVAC. Do you guys clean those? I guess I want to say the conduit up there, or the travel where the air goes traveling through the building.
Yeah, we have a engineering division. So it's maintenance, and we have different levels of maintenance engineers. So, depending on the level of certification needed or expertise for any of HVAC, yeah, absolutely. And we work closely with that department. So I've gotten to, do ride-alongs and learn about all those details. Again, not an expert, but enough to know the importance of it. So yeah, feel free to send me an email, or I'll give you my phone number. Just if you have any questions, I'd be glad to help.
Are you
Okay.
folks designers of parts of the buildings, or you strictly clean them?
No, we do. So we do janitorial and day porter services. So cleaning and maintenance and engineering.
And engineering. So are you folks involved with trying to figure out how to put ultraviolet light in the ductworks and the HVAC systems to kill COVID and other viruses in schools and hospitals and things like that?
Good question. I don't know specific details about that. Let me find out. Our engineering expert and sustainability expert would probably know. So let me, Laura,
Just
that's
curious.
interesting. I want to know that. I want to put that in my house. So
Me too. But what's interesting is with all of the state and federal funding coming out right now related to the pandemic and the Green New Deal and all of that, there's probably some sort of development fund available to start getting those things into big facilities like schools and hospitals and things.
yeah, which I'm glad you brought up, because, we all need to know that. And anybody with a business and a, property, that's important. Can you get a hold of those funds so that you can revamp your building and, keep your tenants safe, but also, have an adequate building. So let me find out. I don't know anything about that. I haven't heard that mentioned. So I don't know, but that would be something I would want to know. And I know our company, if we're going to be, helping people.
If you follow up, I'll stick it in front of the mayor and city council and say, look, there's funding. We can do this.
Done. Okay, Laura, I've got your name. We'll find out. Well,
Okay.
interesting. Thank you for bringing that up. That's really cool.
Hey, Liz, could you take a second and drop your name, email address, and a number if you'd like into the chat box, and then anyone can copy and paste that out.
That would be great.
And you're getting a lot of thank yous in the chat room too, which is great.
Not too boring, I hope, guys.
No, not at all. Not at all.
Good. Well, thank you.
Thank you.
If there's no further questions, thank you so much to Liz. Appreciate it. Don't forget about us next month, Liz.
I will
Even
be.
though I always tell the presenters, even though you've presented, please come back next month and enjoy. And I know you're a regular attender, and I appreciate that.
So are we going to do in person at some point? Or are we still?
I'll hand that over to Trish.
We're looking to start bringing in-person opportunities into place next month. I'm still waiting for some new furniture to arrive. And so I'm not saying an absolute day and time till I actually see furniture. That's kind of been holding us up. Supply chain issues has kind of caught us on that one. But
That's
we're
exciting. That's
Yeah.
exciting that we're actually talking about that, though. That's good.
Yeah, so we will start for the first 2 or 3 months with a hybrid option as we figure that out as well. We've not done a single one of those yet. So that's what we're going to work on over the next couple of weeks. So we hope to start with that in-person option for those interested in July
Perfect.
for all of our different meetings and networking opportunities. And I need to pause a moment and apologize. I skipped the opportunity to have Brian introduce himself, and he was coming today specifically for an opportunity to introduce himself. So we're going to go back to Brian, and please take a few moments and tell us who you are and how you got here.
Yeah, no worries. Hi, everybody. I'm Brian Sheridan. I work for the Coalition for Clean Air, but I was talking to Anthony Presto, who maybe some of you know, and he said, you really need to talk to the Stanislaus Greens team about California Clean Air Day. So for those of you who don't know, we're going into our 4th annual California Clean Air Day. It's a free program at cleanairday.org. And what's really cool, I don't know if any of you, since most of you lead sustainability, if you ever have challenges getting your employees to buy into the concepts that you're trying to do, but through something called a Clean Air Pledge that you can find at Clean Air Day, what our partners have done is they sign up, they get a link that says, hey, as Blue Diamond is really committed to sustainability, but we know that it takes all of us to do our part. And they send out that link to their employees. And then every time an employee clicks on the link, it gets them back a report. So it's free and you get a full report back. And it's kind of a great way of driving home the sustainability message that you all are trying to do in a way that is not the typical press release, but actually invites your employees or customers to join you. And there's a lot of power in that. I'm personally looking for some communities that I really want to emphasize this year in the Central Valley. So, I hope to really highlight some of those communities and some of the individuals on the website. For those of you who have any ideas or want to nominate someone, we have something called an unsung hero because we think that, a lot of the normal suspects get recognized all the time. So we want to just sort of give shout outs to those small businesses, to those volunteers, to those employees that are doing good in this space. And it's totally open. You can find all of it at cleanairday.org. And it's funny that I'm talking to you today because actually across the pond, as they say, it's Clean Air Day UK. But our Clean Air Day is in October. It's October 6th.
Feel free to add some of that.
Go ahead, Trish. Sorry.
Feel free to put your contact and kind of the website and whatnot in there as well, please. You're already on.
Remember us every third Thursday of the month, whether in Zoom or in person.
Exactly.
Okay, I think it's time for what we call our 30-second commercials or statements. If anybody has a brief announcement, something they want to say relevant to the Green Team meeting, now is your chance before we wrap it up for the day. Anybody have anything to say? I will remind you that July 15th is our next Green Team meeting, and we will have Cindy Woodruff from Blue Diamond Growers Turlock. We're excited about that. And we're always open to taking reservations, so to speak, for presentations throughout the year for our Green Team meetings. So I think we have one for August too, right? Trish, is Frank speaking that day?
I'll let Jolene weigh in. I think she's got at least one speaker for the rest of through November, I think.
Wow.
I filled up the entire year, but yes, we will have Frank in August.
Slow clap. That is awesome, Joel. Good job.
Thanks.
Fantastic. That is the best news I've heard. Fantastic.
Yeah, she's rocking it.
All right, Liz, that tops the turtle.
I will add, we just completed our 8th complete green certification. We've held 5 green ribbon cuttings, which is a unique thing to that platform we're finding. And we're on a mission to do another 8 to 10 in the next 6 months or so, because we think we are ready to nail this. And Jolene is going to take it to the next level. So please inform people, we are the program provider for the whole county. So if you or you know of a business that is really focused on sustainability or becoming more sustainable in their efforts, and they would like to reside their company, their brand, their logo on the California Green Business Network marketing website, it's a resource that businesses all through the region go to. If they're really focused on working with green focused businesses, they go there for the referrals. And that covers all sectors of business and industry. We've done restaurants, we've done food manufacturing, we've done the slip sheet factory for manufacturing plant for, I want to say Jacko, that's what's in my mind right now.
Repsco.
You guys are too similar at times. I have to stop and
Yeah, no, it's
pause
similar.
before I say that. And we can do an office with one person working in it. Anything is eligible. Jolene has helped one home office get green certified just because they really care about sustainability. So
Oh, that's cool.
applies to anything. And Lyndon has a ton more experience in the concept because he's done more of these. He's also the co-chair for San Joaquin Green Team and California Green Business Network program. But he's helping guide us through. But our biggest piece right now is to let the rest of the county know we're here to help them get certified.
And I've attended the last 2 green ribbon cutting ceremonies and been extremely impressed with the job the chamber, Trish and Jolene are doing. You deserve a pat on the back, and I appreciate what you're doing. It's fantastic.
Thank you. Ready to do more.
Great. All right, one last call for any announcements for anything you'd like to say that's, like I said, relevant. Okay.
I'd like to just say thank you to Liz for that presentation. It's not every day that we think about the sanitation aspect of, just staying clean and healthy in the workplace or even at home. So just thank you for your talk today.
Great.
Thanks, guys.
I second that. That is fantastic. Okay. If there's no more announcements, then